Okay, so my phone doesn't want to let me rotate the um that way, but that's cool. Greetings, counteractive news. So I'm just quickly gonna talk about. Let me get my papers here so I stay on track. Yeah, I'm quickly just gonna talk about Uranus in Taurus. I'm gonna skip over what happened in the past when Uranus did meet Taurus, and I'm also gonna talk about how it affected me personally, so it can give you an example of maybe what's to come to you guys personally. When Uranus was in Taurus last, I wasn't even born, so I'm going to have to talk about Uranus in Aries, which it is currently now, and how that's affected me while it's going into Taurus. So, if you guys know we had 7 planets at first, and then Uranus was next discovered. So when Uranus was discovered, that's when we can say it took technology for us to discover Uranus, put it that way, because the first 7 planets you can see with your eyes, but the other including, when we say planets, I'm including the sun and the moon. They're not really planets, but yeah. So Uranus just represents freedom. So keep that in mind. Freedom, sudden change. So it's very hard to predict what Uranus would do, but you can kind of see the changes. You can kind of get an idea of what's to come. So Taurus, if you guys don't know, Taurus is an earth sign. Taurus rules security. So that can come, security can mean money. Security can mean health. Security can mean a lot of things. It rules the earth, so that means food, agriculture, nature, and also rules your value system. And also, any way that you have Taurus is where is the hardest for you to let things go. So Uranus is not happy in Taurus. We say in astrology, we say that it's in a fall when it's in Taurus, because Uranus doesn't like to be controlled. Uranus is all about freedom. And Taurus is about like, hey, I need to know everything. Like, I need to be secure. I need to know everything. And the only way for me to be secure is to know everything. So, having Uranus meet Taurus next year, let's see what happened in the past to kind of give us an idea of what's going to come forth. So Uranus was last in Taurus it entered Taurus last in 1934. And around 1931, just before it like about 3 years before it entered that constellation, Britain was the first country to leave the gold standard. And then US was the second country to leave the gold standard in 1933. And then Belgium was the next one to leave the gold standard in 1934. And then France, Poland, etc. left it in 1936. And when we left the gold standard, we left the idea of this money is backed up on silver, like real silver, backed up on real gold. We now just started printing loads of money, and it was just an agreement between me and you, like, okay, this 100 means X, Y, and Z, but it didn't have any value backed onto it. So that's why we have inflation right now currently. When Uranus met Taurus, the banks were closed. The Great Depression set in. So put it that way. The way money was used changed. And remember, Uranus really represents sudden change, or represents change and freedom. So in saying that, moving forward now, I see, which you guys can see now, like you can feel these changes. Like crypto money is going to be the new thing. Crypto money is going to be the big new thing. For me, Bitcoins is something I'm going to get into. But yeah, Bitcoins, I don't know what the rest are called, because Bitcoin is the one I'm getting into. But crypto money is going to be the big thing. So our system of money is going to go up and down, because that's what crypto money is all about. Every time I see the Bitcoin, the system is always going up and down, up and down. So you're going to see changes in how that's going to flow. Also in agriculture, and how we farm our medicines, that's going to change. The control that we have on certain medicines like hemp is going to suddenly change. Certain countries and certain states are making it legal now. So people are now investing into hemp because they realize that, hey, this is actually something that's helpful. It's helping me, whether you use it as an oil, you smoke it or whatever, and other things as well that the government have been suppressed are all of a sudden now not going to be suppressed. We're going to start to see freedom in able to use these substances that have been illegal for such a long time, to treat with them, etc. Also, with anytime, remember, Uranus represents technology and Taurus represents Earth, right? So technology is meeting Earth. So on the other flip side, you're gonna have things like chips in human beings. Like, I know we've seen the posters all going around like, oh, they're putting chips in human beings and etc. That is technology meeting Earth. Okay, so yes, it is a dark side of it. Depends on who you're asking, of course, but it's still a dark side of it. In my perspective, you have frequency machines, which we have now, that help you heal through frequencies. We have earthing bracelets that help you feel more grounded. Although, if you want to do earthing, I would just say go outside, hug a tree, stand on some grass, and recharge. That's the best way to earth, because you're an electrical magnetic being. What else? What else? What else? Yes. This is one thing that came into my mind. I was like, of course, that's Uranus meeting Taurus. So I don't know. It was a lot on the BBC, but I don't know if you guys, whoever is watching this, if you guys got to see it, but you can pretty much Google it. There's this lady. I say lady, but it's a machine, right? It was a machine, and it's created like a human being, etc. And it was this lady who, like, she put her memories in this machine so she can live longer. Like, she can literally live forever. That was her whole idea of this. So they created this machine that's human like, and so they can put this human memories into this machine, which is technology, right? So that's technology, or Earth meeting technology, or technology meeting Earth. So that's them merging together again. So that was like, oh my, I was like, oh my days. And you can see how these energies come way before, and then when it enters, it's just gonna be, oh, it's gonna be so excited. But yeah, that's a bit of a gist of what's going on. Like, you can already see it happening. So when Uranus fully enters Taurus next year in 2018, yeah, we're gonna see a lot more of crypto money being used, people trying to preserve life a bit longer. We're gonna want freedom to heal ourselves in certain ways and not to suppress us in other ways. For me, personally, this is going to affect you guys personally, because that's just a worldly thing. And every single person has Taurus rule a particular house for them. For me, Taurus rules my 7th house. So Taurus rules my 7th house. I already knew that my relationships are going to change. So my personal relationships, my business relationships, because that's any partnership that you have is ruled by the 7th house. And so I already saw that coming with the type of relationships I got myself into. Most people would say they're very unconventional. The type of partners I picked are very unconventional, and that is Uranus. Uranus is a very it's that energy. It's the unconventional energy. It's the rebel energy. It's a very individual. It's a very individual kind of like, it's an individual energy. So that means freedom, if anything. However, Uranus right now is in Aries, and Aries is a pioneering sign. So that's why I see a lot of businesses starting. But for me, Aries was my 6th house. So the 6th house rules health and rules work. And I am not kidding you. Like, anybody who knows me knows this flow, right? I've changed jobs so many times. Like, I've gone from this job to this job, this job to this job. Like, one minute I'm working hard, the next minute I'm not bothered. So in that, I was crying out for some freedom, and guess what I did? I became self-employed. I became a Smile Time with Yogini. I became an astrologer. I'm a model, and I'm a manifestation coach. So I wanted freedom in the way I work. So I made that freedom for myself, right? How did I view health? I've always been into psychology ever since I was little. I've always been into psychology, but I've also been into nutrition. So I wanted to study nutrition in school, study public health, study forensic science, medical science. Those are the things I've done already. However, they weren't interesting to me anymore. So I started going into more natural healings and more natural ways of healing, which I became, like I said, as my time with Yogini, astrology as well, using things like moringa to heal. Like, moringa has done me the best. Moringa's really like helped me so much, using all these things to like moving, like, to be more free. So my work, the way I work and the way I view health changed completely, because Uranus is a planet, even the way you look at it physically, it's like it's kind of tilted on the side, and it's just this planet that's unusual. So anywhere it goes, you're going to meet change. You're going to want to be free in that area. So that's how it's affected me personally. So For you guys, obviously Uranus, Aries was a different part of you. So maybe looking at what, if you guys know already, where Aries is for you, and see if that area of your life has changed for the last past 7 years, and then looking for preparing for what's to come, because I always say proper preparations prevents poor performance, right? The 5 P's. So if you want to know what that's going to look like for you, like what Uranus in Taurus is going to look like for you, or those who don't know what house Taurus rules for you, I'm happy to do a reading. So just email me or drop me a message, and we can move forward with that. But yeah, for me, I already know I'm expecting sudden changes in my relationships. It doesn't mean have to be negative or positive. It's all about how you react. Uranus is one of those energies you can't run away from. It's all about how you react to it, and that's like anything in life. It's always about how you react, not what's happened to you, but your reaction to it is most important. So so it's dope. It's just dope how it's already been insynced in the past and how it's moved forward. So I'm looking forward to how it's going to affect the world in general, and also how it's going to affect me personally, because this shit has come down to a T. Like, it's been on point. But yeah, so I didn't want to make this a very long video, guys, but thank you. But yeah, get at me on email. You can call me. Don't call me now because I'm in Kenya. But when I come back to the UK, I'll be back to business. But I just wanted to drop that message while I'm here. And thank you so much for watching. And hotep.